What's up, guys? This video started with the intentions of my PH3 from Seekins being the ultimate hunting rifle. I put out a video and asked you guys what I should rebarrel it to for the ultimate long-range hunting cartridge, and unfortunately couldn't make it happen in the PH3. This is a short action. I'm a short action fan, but the overwhelming majority of you guys chose the 7mm backcountry. So for now, we're going to ditch the PH3 and move on to something new. So what did we get? This is the Weatherby Model 307 chambered in 7mm backcountry. This was originally going to be a first shots and impressions video. Unfortunately, we already filmed that and lost all the audio. So we're going to redo it. You guys will get to see us shoot, but going into it, we already have some opinions since we've already shot it and it's not a true first shot. So Drew, do you have anything that you feel like you want to address or talk about?
Yeah, I'd say the main thing that is very interesting about this cartridge is they claim that it was going to have very low recoil for what it's doing. And I really thought that was a load of crap. It doesn't make sense to me that it could actually have less recoil. I don't know what they did, but it has substantially less recoil. For what it's doing, it's shooting a 170 grain bullet. How fast is that one going?
3,000 out of a 20-inch barrel, 3150 out of a 24-inch.
So based on those numbers and the weight of the bullet, it should be kicking super hard. Granted, we are shooting it suppressed, which does help mitigate some recoil, but it feels maybe like a Bear 243 for reference. Like, it does not kick that hard. So that is phenomenal. It doesn't kick near as hard as it should. It has shot also a lot better than I thought it would. I was pretty hesitant when Cody said he was going to pick one of these up. I thought that could really be a headache that you're buying. And so far, it's been pretty phenomenal. I've been very happy with that.
Maybe I'm the sissy in the group because I don't know that it's quite as low recoil as a 243, but it's definitely not as bad as I expected. This rifle all in, I haven't actually weighed it. I will, or I can, but it should be roughly 9.5 pounds all set up. And I have a 28 nozzler at home that is also about 9.5. If I throw the suppressor on, it takes it up to 10. But it would be interesting to do a side-by-side 28 nozzler versus 7 backcountry, both ballistics and recoil. So if that's something you're interested in, let us know. That's something we can make happen. I do agree that the recoil is substantially less than the 28, but there's a good chance it's placebo. So I do want to shoot them side-by-side to find out. We did do an ammo test with these 4 ammo options you see here. So go check that out if you're interested in seeing that. I did decide to go ahead and stick with the 170 grain terminal ascent for now. That's based off of the performance and the accuracy review, as well as just the ballistics. I've always wanted to use a terminal ascent bullet. The 170 looks pretty good on paper. So that's what we're going to use.
Another positive I just thought of is the barrel and suppressor didn't seem to get as hot as it should either.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't heat up as fast as the 28 nozzler does. 28 nozzler, when I do group testing, or I'm just getting dope for pre-hunting season, I'm two shots max. Doesn't matter if it's winter, summer, 2 shots, it's hot, I let it cool down. This gun, we were able to let it go 3-4 shots in a row without it feeling excessively hot. The barrel was actually still cool the whole time. The suppressor was the only thing that felt excessively warm during those shooting streams.
Which is impressive because it's the same ballpark performance.
It's barrel length dependent, of course, but it actually has better ballistics bullet to bullet than the 28 nozzler in certain loads. So very impressive performance in this package here. One thing Drew mentioned already is the recoil was substantially lighter than expected. That being said, the 195 grain ammo felt like it was a lot stiffer recoil. I kind of want to test that today. So I think what I'll do is I'm going to load one of the 155 grain terminal ascents, which is the lightest grain ammo that they offer, and then I'll load one of the 195s. Drew's not going to know the order, and I'm going to have him shoot him, see if he can actually tell the difference. And then I'll try it out myself, and you guys will get to see us do some shooting. We'll shoot some steel, shoot some rocks, and give you some more feedback. But we're super excited about this rifle. Hopefully you guys are too. Overwhelming amount of you said 7 backcountry was the way to go. Obviously, I'm nervous that I'm not able to reload for it. And then using factory ammo, you always got to be careful that the velocity range stays close enough to be effective at long range. So we'll do some testing. We'll see how it performs. And if we like it, you'll get to see it go hunting this year. Let's get shooting. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and load up one of the 195s and one of the 155s. Drew is not able to tell which is which. I'm going to have him shoot, see if he can tell. So hopefully I'll show you an up close which one's going in second. This will be the second shot. And this will be the first shot. The tips of the bullets obviously look different, so he could cheat if he was to look inside the action. We'll tell him not to cheat.
I'm not positive, but I'm guessing that was the 190.
Were you able to spot impacts on either of those?
No, I was not able to spot impacts. I definitely could see the dust that I missed the second one. I was high. I couldn't tell where. And then the first one where I hit it, I was back on and the plate was definitely still swinging a lot.
All right, I'm up. Drew was able to accurately tell which ammo was which based on recoil. So I'll see if I can do the same. I think I could probably cheat and go off of where the impact actually splashes. So I won't do that. I'm gonna go for a paint can. Probably won't hit it because we're not dialed for this gun. But if I do, it'll be a little fun. So going for the paint can, first shot, see if I can tell what's what. I am gonna try and spot my impact. We're only at 400 yards, maybe 430, can't remember exactly. So we're pretty close for, it's not a Magnum, but Magnum type recoil. So I'm gonna drop it down to 8 power and we'll see if there's a difference from shot to shot. Okay, I can fairly confidently say that was the 195. As far as how it felt in my shoulder, here's what Drew was talking about. It feels like it's all the way up. It just doesn't want to go that extra bit. So that's a little bit of a problem. But what I was saying, and the magazine dropped down again. So that's an issue. That might be a tension thing I can adjust. I need to look into that. I'm really enjoying this rifle. Ballistically and everything, but that might be a hard pass for me on a hunting rifle if I can't get that magazine to stay seated. So further testing to go. We'll figure that out and address it before we actually take it hunting. Anyways, I'm guessing 155 was the first shot. I was actually able to trace it into the paint can. The 195, I was aiming for a similar size target, exact same range, same magnification, and it definitely knocked me off. I was able to get back on relatively quickly. But I could not see the impact. As far as how the shoulder felt, maybe slightly more on the second shot, but it was mostly a visual thing for me to be able to tell there was more recoil. So I'm guessing 195 was my second shot.
Correct.
Drew says that was accurate. So we were both able to tell. Based on my visual and how we both felt, I'm going to say that there is noticeable recoil increase going to the 195s. I wouldn't say it's enough to justify choosing the 155s over the 195. I would pick the bullet that you're comfortable with. I would also choose the one that's most accurate in your rifle. But if you are taking a kid, spouse, somebody that is recoil sensitive, you do gain a little less, or you do lose some recoil with those 155s. Let's go ahead and move on. All right, we're gonna do a little more shooting. So we're here at 400 yards. We're gonna shoot some pop cans. Drew and I own a couple 6.5s that are extremely accurate, and we shoot, one of our favorite targets is sugar-free soda. They pop, they look cool, they're fun, they're relatively cheap. We shoot them at all sorts of distances, out to 1,000 yards even, but I'd say most of the time we shoot them from 400 to 550 yards, and typically we're able to go roughly 3 for 4. I'd say we're in that 65 to 75% range all the time, and that's not just us. Those rifles are very capable. We have even new shooters at 400 yards, they're usually able to go 50% with that gun. I'm a big believer that accuracy is king. Shot placement is what matters while hunting. And if this rifle isn't capable of precision accuracy, I'm not that interested in it as a hunting rifle. So we're going to see what it's capable of. I got 3 rounds loaded up with a 155 grain terminal sense. And I'm going to go for some pop cans, see what I do, and then we'll let Drew do the same. And we'll give you some more feedback on what we think and see the results. I'm not exactly sighted in for this ammo, so expecting a miss with some adjustment, but I did hit that spray can first shot, so it might be pretty dang close. So we'll go ahead and take some shots. Okay, 0 for 2, so not too good yet. Third shot.
I'd hold bottom of the can if...
Okay. Ready? All right, not great, not bad. It is a fairly small target. 400 yards, 1 for 3. We'll see if Drew can do better. Oh man, people are gonna flame me. I blinked, but I think you were just off the top left edge.
I think that's where I was. I could almost spot my impact. We were looking at this gun earlier. There is a tiny spot right there where the metal is, the Cerakote is getting worn off. So it is catching. That's why it gets that like false feeling of being up all the way. And the magazine did drop out on that one. It also seems to get worse the more you shoot it. Like as it warms up, it seems to catch more to me.
Huh.
Did I just knock it over?
I don't know how, because it looked like good height, so you should have hit it, but if you might have just hit the dirt next to it.
All right, guys, you might have noticed that our location has changed. We are hiding in the truck. The wind is horrendous today. We've had a couple phones blow over. We've had to set up our tripod for the spotting scope a little different to make sure it also didn't blow over. So we decided instead of you sitting there listening to the howling wind on our mics, we'd get in the truck, kind of give our final thoughts, and finish up this video. All in all, I've been a lot more impressed with the cartridge than I thought it would be. I was very concerned about it. Cody said, hey, this is one people want. And I thought, that is crazy. You can't reload for it. It started out super amazing, and then there was nothing on YouTube. No one talked about it, which made me really concerned about accuracy issues and that it just wasn't going to work. I lost all faith in it completely. So when he said that's what people want and he bought one, I was like, man, that seems phenomenally sketchy. But it has proven not the case. The cartridge has been doing super great. Our accuracy has been way better than I expected. You'll see in our group test, it did pretty dang good. In our more practical test of shooting cans at 400, I wouldn't say it's quite kept up with the 6.5s, but it did a lot better than I thought it would. We did some videos of the issues we're having with the gun. That is pretty disappointing. That's obviously not cartridge related. That's more the gun. Hopefully some of that stuff we can fix. But all in all, if we can get this tuned up to where it should be, where the magazine's not dropping and the action runs smooth, I could easily see this being a very phenomenal hunting rifle. It's super short, easy to pack around, weight's about right for what I would want for a hunting rifle, and the performance is pretty insane. Yeah, all in all, way impressed with everything compared to what I thought I would be. I think with some tinkering, this will be a phenomenal gun.
All right, guys, so just wrapping up my thoughts. This was, like I said earlier, going to be a first shots and impressions. It didn't quite end up being that since we'd had some time behind the rifle before. Super excited about it. I bought this rifle solely based off your guys' recommendations, not for the rifle, but for the cartridge. I would say going into the cartridge, I would say I was probably a 5 out of 10 on the excitement level and the expectations I had for it. I didn't think it would produce the accuracy that I would consider acceptable, and it would not be a long-range hunting cartridge, but more of a close to mid-range cartridge. And that being said, I'm actually very impressed with the accuracy we're seeing so far. More testing to be done. I'd say it went from a 5 out of 10 expectations to a real-world 8 out of 10. It's doing really well. I reserve the right to change my opinion at any time, though. So continue to follow along, subscribe if you want to see more 7 backcountry content. As far as the rifle goes, for the price point it's at, I'm actually very, very happy with the rifle until we started to notice the 2 fatal flaws. So we'll hopefully have some close-ups, or you guys have probably seen them while we were shooting. But after the shot, majority of the time the magazine drops down. Might be able to adjust that. If that's the case, ignore that. It's not an issue. I just need to fix it. If that's not adjustable, that could be a hard pass on a hunting rifle. Goal is to only make 1 clean shot. not need a follow-up, but they're there for a reason. If you need them, it's because things have gone south. So if you need them, they better be there. The other one is the action is binding, or the bolt is binding on the action there with that contact. We'll show you a close-up there. But a lot of times when you go to lift, you think you're there, turns out you're not all the way up. And after you have a spent cartridge in there, you actually have to kind of beat it open. It takes some hard force to open that bolt. Another problem with the 90-degree bolt, not necessarily a problem with this rifle, but just a problem with 90-degree bolts, is with my knob here, when I am at max magnification or even close to max, when that bolt goes up, there is contact there, and I'm not able to run the bolt. So that's an issue, although that can be overcome by just either shooting on lower magnification, which I prefer to do anyways when shooting at game, or I can take that knob out and it wouldn't be an issue. But that's frustrating because I don't have to do that on any other rifle. But follow along. Should be some fun content. We've already got the ammo test out, so go check that out if you want to see it. And then we also are going to, as of now, I'm planning on taking this rifle spring bear hunting. So we're going to do some videos on getting it ready for hunting season. Should be a lot of fun doing that as well. If we can't figure out the magazine issue, I probably won't take it hunting. And the binding on the action, I don't think we can fix that. It just is what it is. Is that a hard pass for you on a hunting rifle? Let me know in the comments. Does that disqualify this rifle from going out? Or is that not a big issue to you guys? I'm not sure how I feel about it. We're going to keep shooting it, keep dialing it in, see what we think. And we'll take you guys along with us as we do it. So thanks for being here. Till next time, plink responsibly.